Hi everyone. How's everybody doing? I'm just gonna give a second or two, see if my mom gets on. Anyway, I hope you guys had a great weekend. Let's see, it's Monday morning, it's 1 o'clock here, and I expect to be doing this today and through Thursday. So I had a few days off and I've made some art that I'm going to show you guys and just chat a little bit about the weekend. But I'm hoping that you guys got either some gardening in or some cooking or some of that good old family time. I actually have been pulling out some old recipes and I made the most amazing, I'm saying it's amazing because I can't even believe my whole entire family ate it all so fast. This has never happened before. Okay, so we have a vegetarian in the house. I have a very picky 13-year-old in the house. Very, very, very picky. I have a middle child who pretty much eats like as long as it's spicy or, you know, I don't know, wants like a restaurant-y flavor to it. This is the guy who would like me to order takeout every single day, but we're being really kind of cautious about that. We're doing takeout maybe once a week to a local restaurant to sort of support him, but not doing that too much. So I've been cooking a ton. So anyway, I made pad thai. I found this recipe I have this old book. Hi Karen, I made pad thai and the recipe is on my Instagram stories right now, but if you're not on my Instagram and you're interested in pad thai, just email me, andreagarveyart@gmail.com, and I will send you this photo of the of the recipe. But anyway, I keep talking, it was so good and it was so easy and they all ate it so fast, literally chowed it, looked at me. It took me, not very long to make it, and I was so excited. It smelled so good. I was so hungry. We all sat down. In 35 seconds, they looked at me and they're like, is there more? So there wasn't any more. We had to make another thing for them to eat. So anyway, go and find that recipe or let me know if you need it, and it's a huge hit. Okay, so that's one thing I want to tell you. The other thing that is so funny was that I've been doing a lot of art in here all weekend. It rained. We had 5 inches of rain, and we need it because we have had hardly any rain in January, February, so we needed it. But I go into the house and I look at my husband, and I'm like, what happened to you? So the 13-year-old gave my husband a haircut. And he gave himself a haircut with clippers. And so their sides are totally shaved off with this huge thing on top of their head. And I was telling them back hi Mom, I was telling them about the old days where our next door neighbor would take their boys, literally stick a bowl over their head and cut around the outside. So that is what they look like. And then I wanted to see if I could take a photo and show you guys. And they were like, no, I can't do that. But maybe I'll sneak one. Okay, so enough about my weekend little stories. What I have been doing that I'm excited to show you guys today is some flowers that I created while watching Homeland. Okay, you guys know that I was doing my abstracts watching Homeland, and now I'm just sort of doodling and just listening more to the TV than I am watching the TV because I'm really into these doodles. So I thought this week I would still continue to work in my art journal and show you guys my progress, because one of the reasons I'm not quite ready to jump onto a new painting is because I'm almost finished with my girl with the flowers that you can you can see back there. Oh my gosh, backwards. Anyway, wait, there, right there. Hold on. There is the girl with the flowers. And when that's finished, I'm going to walk you guys over there and we'll look at it all together, because I spent a lot of time on her and I'm loving where it's going. And I really want to get that done before I jump onto another painting, because then I know I won't finish it. So I need to finish it. So in the meantime, I have been working on these flowers, and I have another bigger piece to show you. So this is something that has just been coming out of my brain, and I'm just sort of watching them. I'm watching Donna. Hi, Donna. Hi, Mom. Hi, Karen. These are something that I've just been creating over and over and over again, to the point where I think now I can actually put that in and show you guys. And I don't know what I want to call these flowers, but I ended up doing this page last night, and I thought I would do a journal page with you guys today live. So I worked on this last night while I was watching Homeland, and you can do this with a pen or a marker or anything. And I'm using right now the Micron, let me make sure I have it. I'm using the Micron number 1. Okay, so this is a Micron, pen. It's a number 1. And the reason I like number 1 in here is definitely because it's a little thicker. Where the drawings I did last week, the more pen I was using with my watercolor paints, I actually use a smaller nib, because I really want the watercolor to be more important. So when I'm doodling, or when I'm Zentangling, and when I'm working in my journal, I do like a little bit of a thicker point. So this is a Micron number 1. And the other one is the Pitt, where is that guy? My Pitt pens that I love too, and I use a S on those, okay? And so what I thought we would do today is Andrea's roses. Oh yeah, Mom, that's a good idea. I guess they're roses, right? Like a little rose, it's a little ranunculus, it's a little blend. But what I want to do today was take the journal that we made last week, and I'm going to draw a square, because this square I'm going to actually have as one of my inspirational quotes. So I'm going to show you guys how I'm going to do my flowers around the outside. And then I think tonight and then tomorrow I'm going to bring out all my markers and show you my favorite markers and actually color some in and be like little adult coloring, or not adult. I'm hoping some kids are watching, but it's a coloring thing. So I'm going to flip you on over and show you that. And then after that, so don't go anywhere. If you get a little bored, hold on, because I want to show you some of my collage cards I worked on this weekend too. I did quite a bit. Well, the rain was raining like crazy. I was hiding in the studio from my kids and my husband, and I was very creative. So, all right, so hold on. I'm going to flip you guys around. I'm going to actually bring you a little closer if I can. We can do this. Okay. Let's see. All right. I think that's pretty good. Let me get you straighter. Okay. There. That looks pretty good. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to put this here to you so you can see that. So I have my number 1. Where's my number 1? Okay, I got my number 1. And I also want to take my pencil, and I don't know at all what my quote is going to be, but I'm going to give myself a little bit of room. I'll find something fun. And then I'm going to do some hand lettering on that another time. So, okay, so I have my square shape here. And if you guys have a quote you think is awesome, you want to send me, maybe I'll put it in here. But for now, I'm going to do these flowers around the outside. So let's see what side is better for this. All right. We good? Yeah. So what I want to do is I always start with the middle. I'm just going to do a few of these for you guys. I always start in the middle with a sort of a circle. And how I do these flowers is I do a few little circles without bringing my pen up. So there's like 3 sort of circles. They're not perfect. They're more like oblongs. And then what I'm doing is I'm building up these little petals by coming in and out like that. And then I'm layering behind it. Okay, so I think I use this pen so much. It's got a little blob on it, but that's okay. So I'm taking my pen and I'm just going around and to the size that I want it to be. So here's one. That looks pretty good. And what I do then is, because these are all waterproof. Sorry, not watercolor. These are all waterproof. So once I'm done with them, you can then paint over these or use marker, and you don't have to worry about it bleeding, which I like. So I'm just doing little tiny dots in here. And then what I also have been doing is, not all of them, but some of them I'm doing these little stripes, just to make it a little whimsical and kind of fun. Okay, so I'm doing a little stripe there. And I don't want to do it exactly across, so maybe I will do it right here and have my stripes go this way. And then when I do my flowers, I sort of like to put little ones in between. So I'm going to find another spot. I'm going to do one here. Get that right. So I'm going to do this oblong and make it not perfect. And I'm pressing down a little bit more so you can see that too. And then from my oblong, so that was a continuous loop, 1, 2, 3. And then what I'm gonna do is do some of these petals. And I'm gonna do 3 like this. Okay. And then I'm going to start to build up these petals in the back. They remind me of a little bit of like fabric, what a fabric looking petal would be, like flower. You know, if I could sew, I can't sew at all. I wish I had that skill. My mom does, but I don't. Okay, so I'm gonna make some stripes here, and I think I'll do some stripes on the outside. Like that. And so the idea I want to do is cover this around. I won't do them all today, but just to kind of show you. Once you kind of get going on these too, they're so much fun. They're really meditative. And if you're watching a show, well, and especially if you're having to watch a show with the kids that you're not really loving, but you kind of need to, or if you're watching it with your husband, like Homeland, which I like. I know Terry's on the line, and I like the show so far. We're in season 4 only. But sometimes I'll just be totally mesmerized by these flowers. And my husband will be like, did you get that? Do you know what's happening? And the funny thing is, he can't hear very well. So I actually know what's going on more than he does. And I'm not even looking at it. So anyway, blah, blah, blah. Okay, so I'm doing this. I don't want this to go over the edge. So I'm just doing a couple little back here, and then let's see, where do I want my stripes to be on this one? I think I'll do them here. And if you don't want to do stripes, you can do dots. Okay, and then maybe like there. So I'm going to do one more down here. Sure, I'm going to do one more down here, and then I'm going to show you how I do some in-betweens. So I don't want these two to be exactly on the same line. Visually, I want it to look like they're haphazard. They're kind of all over the place. So maybe I'll just do one a little bit lower. So I'm going to do my inside, 3 little inside petals. And that kind of gives me a little start of how I want to do these back petals, these background petals. It reminds me a tiny bit of creating the mandala kind of art that I love to do, where you start in the middle and you kind of work your way onto the outside. And I think I'm going to do one of my Facebook Lives. We're going to do that too, because that's definitely a really nice meditative thing to do, especially when things are rough, and get your mind off of it. All right, so I'm gonna do the inside like this. Okay. And maybe I'll do, well, that has an outside there stripe, so I don't want to do the exact same one, so I think I'll do my outside here. I like things to alternate and not be perfectly lined up. So I'm going to do that like that. All right, and so now I have the 4, but what I'll do is I'll end up putting these flowers around the whole outside, but now I'm gonna do some smaller ones. And now my smaller ones aren't nearly as detailed, but I do a couple different sizes. So I'm gonna do one there. And so when you're done with your flowers, you can think about, okay, do I want to paint them? And then in these little, excuse me for wait, oh my gosh. I just said, excuse me for interrupting myself. Oh my goodness. Okay, excuse me, but I want to tell you something else. On these little tiny flowers, I do tiny lines without doing the stripes because the stripes are almost too much. Oh my goodness, that was kind of funny. All right, so now I'm going to do a couple more of these little guys. And maybe I'll do one here. Okay, so I have the big flowers, and now I'm gonna do a even smaller little thing. And I like to do these little circles. All they are, I start in the middle and I go round. And I don't know what we want to call these. They're just little circular embellishments, or kind of, it just fills in the space. Okay. And then once you kind of do that and you fill around the front, something else I like to do too, I'm gonna flip it over so you can see how I did it last night, is I like to do these little tiny dots. You know, the dots kind of bring a little shadow, or they bring another little element to it. And they're not everywhere. I just do them in little random places. So it's not super stark in the background. And when I have a piece that's this detailed, that has this many flowers, I'll probably choose to do marker on here. So I think I'll do that tomorrow, is show you all my markers and marker this one. And then if you had the same sort of look where you had just a few and you wanted to try doing watercolor, that's also another option. I think acrylic paints would be too much because these are small, but watercolor paints would certainly be a good idea. And if you go outside the lines and you're really bummed about that, which is really no big deal, but let's say you are, the nice thing about watercolor and these markers is that you can then just create another line. And the way that these are made, it kind of covers up any sort of, if you colored out of the line or you painted out of the line, you just add another one of this black line to enclose it. Alrighty, so I'm gonna flip you guys back around and I'm gonna show you some other stuff. And you know what? It's so sunny now too. Whoopsie, hold on. The rain is over. Oh, but I'm gone. Okay, so let's see who came on. Oh, Sandra's on. And hey, Carol, how you guys doing? All right, good. I've got all my buddies. And all right, so I wanted to show you some of these other cards that I did. Okay, wait, I think I might be missing some. Hold on. Where did they go? Okay, here they are. So just a little preview. The cards I do are just watercolor paper, and then I paint them. And then I end up adding like a crayon on top, just marking up. And then I cut up my collage, which are little pieces like this. And you guys, if you're jumping on and you haven't seen any of these other demos, they're all on my YouTube channel. so you can find them pretty easily, and they're a fun little project to do. So I wanted to show you a few that I was doing. I found this butterfly book that I had bought at an old, like a old bookstore. They were like $1 going out of business. And so I cut them up and I put them in here, on here. So here's one of them. It's so sunny now, it might be too bright. And then this is another one. I really like the pink, and this black right here is from my paper. I want to show you. I get this paper, well, I used to get the paper from the art stores, but now I'd have to wait. But isn't that pretty? So a lot of these papers you can find at like Paper Source or any really, really nice art stores. And then I cut up pieces that I want to put on my cards. Okay, so here's another one of the butterflies. Isn't that so cute? With the pink. And so I put on my little pieces. It's got a little flower down here. And then I work around it even more with some of the crayons. This one, okay, here we go. This one I found. I cut all of these out from a magazine, a little clothing magazine. So sometimes when you're going through your magazines, you don't want them anymore. You might not know what you want to do, but just cut some out and put them aside. And then here's a little flower. And then this was, okay, it goes like this, I think. It could go either way, actually. It doesn't really matter. But again, these are like pieces of a magazine, and then some flowers. And then I have this great little hole punch that punches out these big circles. So I was kind of busy. I did a lot of those, and that was good because I was a tiny bit behind. So anyway, so this week I'm gonna work in the journal, show you some more show and tell. Tomorrow will be my markers, and I have quite a bit, so that'll be fun to look at. And I have my inspirational card to pull with you guys. So we have been pulling from The Universe Has Your Back, and this is another one that my sister gave me. This is called Super Attractor. It's the same woman, Gabrielle Bernstein, who I love, and it's the same artist, and every card is beautiful. So I'm gonna pull one for us, and I hope that that you guys are feeling good today. I'm getting a sense of, I'm getting a big sense of hope today. I woke up feeling much better than I was last week. And I know that this pandemic is affecting everybody at different spots, but I really feel like there's some hope right there around the corner. So we just got to hang tight for another week or so. I'm thinking, well, every day I'm hoping that we hear a little bit better news. I am now wearing our face covering. There's you can hit up some Etsy stores or some local people that you know who are artists and people who are sewing like crazy are making these. And so I really recommend that you guys I got 2 that's coming. And right now I'm just wearing an old mask my husband had. And I think it's really important to do that. And then, oh my goodness, and May will be here. And when May comes, it's gonna be great. I'm hoping, fingers crossed. Okay, so I'm pulling our card. Let's see, what do we have today? Okay, here's my back of the card. To begin the practice of allowing, I must get out of the way and let the Spirit give me direction. Aww. So, whoopsie, I actually pulled 2. Oh, I'm gonna do both. I'm gonna do both. I had 2 stuck together. But that one is this, very sweet. So you got to get out of your way, get out of your mess, and let it all just happen, and it will. And in this one, this is another really good one. That's why I decided to do 2, because they were stuck together, but I feel like it belongs to us. In stillness, I receive. So in the quiet times that we all have, if you're just thinking, or you're meditating, or you're taking a quiet walk, or you're just breathing, all the good stuff is going to come to you. So with that, I'm so glad you guys came back. I'm sure you've been hearing me announce my art class that I'm super, super, super excited about. And thank you for some of you guys who have signed up. You have no idea. It makes me want to cry. I'm so excited. And with the class that doesn't start till June 12th. So right now it's our early special price. It starts on June 12th, and there is a Facebook private group. And what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna also do lives in that Facebook group, which is not something that I think happens all the time, but I thought, you know how much fun. So I'm gonna be painting one of my new paintings at the same time as that group. So I just wanted to let you know that because I know a bunch of you guys signed up for that class. So that's going to be so much fun. And if you need to know any information on that, just head over to my website, and it's all over the place. You can't miss it. But have a fantastic rest of your day. I'll see you here tomorrow and Wednesday and Thursday at 1 o'clock Pacific time, okay? So I'm sending you so much love, and I'll see you tomorrow. Bye.